everyone. You hear me serenading you. If I could, I would totally have music playing in the background because I absolutely love music. I start my day off with music. My little girls love music. So let me get the live stream out and shared. Again, reminder, these are my handles. I get people literally daily trying to impersonate me and trying to scam others. So I do apologize. Really, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, they make it fairly easy. Hello, Salamutha. They make it fairly easy for people to be able to just capture images, throw them up, and say, hey, come and follow me. So be careful. Be very, very careful. Hold on, I'm going to put up, we're going to look at SPY, QQQ, Tesla, XLF. We're going to look, what else do we want to look at? We want to look at Apple, XLF. We'll look at Bitcoin too today. And let me capture that link. So I do see Salamutha here already. Thank you, thank you. Copy. Let's put this here. Let's put this here. And we are good to rock and roll. We have a big week ahead of us. Let me put this up because my heart truly goes out to everybody that has been affected by the flooding that's been going on around the world. I'm sure that somebody knows somebody. It's always that 6 degrees of separation, right, with Kevin Bacon. That somebody knows somebody that has been affected by this. You know, they're talking about 200 million people in China right now or China and Asia are being affected by these floods. This is not anything small, right? There's this typhoon, I forgot what the name of it, Inya, I think, and this tropical storm over here for Japan that could affect the Olympics. Right here near Jinzu, actually right here, like where the hand is where the Three Gorge Dam is located, which is a huge dam. It's the largest one in China and can really affect everybody all down here, right? That I believe it's all this way. Maybe the water flows this way, but I believe that the water flows inland. I could be wrong on the direction there. But when we look at this storm could be hitting it later today, tomorrow, that could really affect it. And all of these people. So my heart does go out. You know, I am in Canada on an island. And so seeing all these crazy floods around the world really makes me think twice when there's an alert of rain. You know, there have been crazy flash floods. Don't mess with water. That's one thing that the water will win. It doesn't matter who you are, the water will win. It will wipe out a house. It will wipe out everything. Just going to try to get the chat back up and running. There we go. Beautiful. All right. So let's look at the market. We've got Riot up here. Let's look at the SPY. Let me head back over to my list over here. Whoops. Not IWM, but IWM is definitely moving to the upside for the day. Actually, we now have all the indexes green on the day. They were red earlier this week as well with Forex Factory. This is a free site. Awesome. Great to check out. We do have new home sales that are down today, tomorrow, and on Wednesday. We have FOMC meeting, and we will have the FOMC statements coming out at 2 o'clock. FOM, the federal fund rate. Are they going to change this? Are they going to start tapering? Janet Yellen said, you know what? I want Gary Gensler, I want you to come up with information about crypto for me by June 28th, coincidentally with the FOMC meeting. And she also requested that the credit ceiling limit be lifted so that the US does not default, basically go bankrupt. There was a great video as well for you guys to check out. And let me just check this message super quickly right here. All right. Okay. So let me head on over to my profile right here. I'm going to pull it up for you guys. but a great video to check out as well on the banking, right? I posted it yesterday. So if you happen to have some time, it's crazy all this flooding that's going on. Oh, my heart goes out to these people. It's awful, 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 awful. All right. So let me pull this up here. There we go. So right here. So this was from almost 24 hours ago. Who controls all of our money? Did you know that the banks take more, they take your money, right, with fractional reserves? Hey, Crypto J. Yes, everything is good in Canada. Thank you. That the banks lend out your money 33 times. If you want to take out more than 10,000, they will make you wait, and you will have to order it 3 to 4 days in advance. So what does that mean? That means that, yes, for everyone that would want to take out money, they would only have enough 1 out of 33 people, or 3% of all the deposit holders would be able to get their money. So think about that. Do you want to have some cash on hand? God forbid, right? You have this awful flood that comes and happens to hit you. Do you have cash on hand to be prepared for a disaster, right? Do you have cash on hand if all of the internet and everything goes down? How are you going to pay for everything, right? So just be aware of that. We do have my list that I do set up every day on cjandtrade.com. Good morning, David, or good afternoon. I feel like you're out west. That's why I said good morning. That we had the SPY surging to new highs, and now it's the middle of the day. We could see it's testing a trend line broken up above it over here on the 24-hour chart. And looks like we might have a bit of a resistance. We could be heading up to 444. That would be an awesome number to hit, right? We have the Qs, though, that are pulling back and a bit weaker on the day. We were a bit overextended, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that we pull back down to 365.60 today and come down and test that level because we were a bit overextended. In fact, was looking at Facebook yesterday. It was really overextended. I don't know if it's retraced as of just yet. Just out of Milwaukee. Nice. I should have you send me some cheddar. I love cheese. I'm a cheesehead. I used to work at a cheese store in Philadelphia with over 200 cheeses. De Bruno Brothers. Got a shout out to them. They are awesome people and awesome food. All right. So over here, I'm not sure why I have that 222.07 there. Maybe that was a dark pool print from another day. Really interesting. I don't remember putting it on, but it looks like we went up there and now we're coming back down. It's interesting that it's not on both charts. Let me sync to all the charts so that it will go to the other one too. There we go. Okay. So if that happened, we had prints right there and we are below it. I think we're going to be heading back down to the downside. Let's jump over here. I got to do another demo with my buddies over at Flow Trade. Awesome, awesome software. That's where I'm going to check the prints right now. Oh my goodness, we have had a lot of prints. I really wish I could just like capture it from this screen and put it right over here. That date was the 21st at 2207, 2207, 200. Yep. We had 350,000 there. Right up here. 350,000 print right up here. And we are down below it. So they tested and they decided, you know what, we're going to bring it back down. This, remember, is 2,000 of these stocks, of the smaller cap stocks. So it can be a bit of a leading indicator for the market as to what is going to happen. Dow Jones is only going to be 30. So we do have Russell 2000, IWM, that's IWM. We have S&P 500, SPY ETF, that's 500. QQQ has 100, and then Dow Jones. The big difference between Qs and all the rest of them is the Qs has 0 financial stocks in it. So when we look at that, is the screen a little blurry for you guys? Oh, Roger, you know what? That's something that software helps a lot for that, but also having it on the charts can help me a little bit too. Oh, Salamutha, we'll talk about crypto too. Don't worry. Awesome. I just switched back over to it. It was a little blurry on my end for a second. So Dow Jones, it looks like we're really hitting a bit of a resistance up here at 351. I didn't map this out today, but I would put 351 as that resistance up there. And let's pull this up here. We have a big bullish engulfing on the 24-hour. A little bit looks like a reverse of a shark, right? So we could see that this is potentially, I would watch this to break down below 349.40. I would watch for that level to be broken. So either up above 351 or 349.40. It looks like we're sort of trading sideways a bit. Opened gap down. We have all of that awful weather again right here that's happening in China. That's a huge segment of the global markets, right? If the Asian markets end up closing or are really not really active and they're red on the day, that could affect the rest of the world throughout the trading day. VXX is definitely moving to the upside today. We are up from close, up just 19 cents, but we're starting to form, it looks like, a bit of a rounded bottom. Which, are we forming a rounded top on the SPY? No, we are not. So one way or the other, someone is not telling the truth. If we have a lot of put buying that is happening on the VXX or VIX, right? Let's check out and see if the VIX volatility indicator is also giving us a similar pattern. Yeah, it is a bit, right? Like this, a bit of a rounded bottom there. So is there more selling that's really happening and people are positioning themselves for a big drop in the market? Maybe. We do have the banks coming. They are up a little bit today. However, you will see the dark pool areas. We have this descending wedge. We're testing the upper bounds today right now. These are older prints back here. Let me check and see if we have anything new that's big that came out today. Also, I gotta show you guys. I'm getting good. Check it out. Drinking my green juice. Looks kind of weird, but it has, it's got all these good nutrients in it. So drink some green juice if you don't eat enough veggies. I love veggies though too. Harvested tomatoes yesterday. It was delicious. Okay, let me search for XLF up here. Nothing too crazy print-wise today. Nothing really crazy. The biggest one were in the past, but we have not. That's on Friday. Nothing super big and crazy today. 36.43. We have one. It's worth $5 million at 12:30 today. But what do you guys think? You guys like it? Would you guys like a live demo of Flow Trade as well? It's pretty awesome software. So we had a smaller one over here at 343. So if we start to reject this trend line as well, matcha, moringa, and lemon juice. I love moringa. I love moringa tea, Crypto J. All right. IAT, the regional banks as well, are still looking fairly weak as well. So, oh, it's weird. It shows. Oh, thanks, Asif. Asif is saying, please hit the like button and subscribe. Yes, just a reminder, if you like the live stream, please hit that like button. All right, so let's look at the list for today. We have our big names. Apple was down on my short list today as it did open down on the day. However, it rebounded nicely, had a nice trade up above 148.60, head up to new highs, up to 149.80. We have a 150 high back as of last week. We do have earnings that are coming out this week. So keep all of that on watch, right? We have, I did post that on Twitter too, of the big earnings that are coming out right here. So Earnings Whisper, gotta love them. They have this right here. So Tesla, is after hours today for the earnings, but we had big earnings pre and post market. This is usually the biggest week of earnings. I believe there's over 2,000 stocks that are reporting earnings this week. Thanks, Roger. All right, so we'll come back. On the top of my list today for some gains was AMC. Now AMC is the largest holding in the Russell, so it's no wonder that the Russell is up a bit today after this has made a nice $2 gain move to the upside. It was going sideways a little bit. When we look at it on the weekly chart over here, you can see it is still showing a downward motion. We are just hitting those moving averages, so looking to see, are we going to close above 40.50? If we do, then would look for this trend line test of 42.50. If we break out from there, okay, then I have momentum potentially moving to the upside. But look at this, we're starting to see that this is really, this is the awesome indicator, and it's really starting to show that the momentum is slowing. We're starting to see that selling pressure come into the picture. When we look at it on the 24-hour chart, it paints a little bit different picture that maybe volume is coming to the upside, but we would still need to see it break out of this downward trend, which has been heavily set over time. So keep that in mind. If you are in this potentially to the long side for AMC, keep in mind that 44 might offer a big resistance. So another 10% to the upside, and that might offer that resistance right there. Riot as well today with Bitcoin moving to the upside. Bitcoin is hitting a bit of a resistance right now. And this had a bit of a move to the upside today. But is this going to continue? We'll look at Bitcoin and see what happens. The real big move on Bitcoin was related to Amazon saying they would take it as a form of payment. Have you ever used Bitcoin to pay for anything or transfer money anywhere? I'm curious. Put it in the chat. I have not, and I don't think that I would, because the fees are crazy to send it, and it takes so long. It takes about an hour to send Bitcoin. So yeah, I don't think I would have any interest in that. So UBS today, bank that had a big move to the upside. Look at this. It went screaming higher from 14.60, had earnings, opened at 15.20, $1 to the upside, but the volume is dropping. How does Bitcoin affect the market? Well, Roger, Bitcoin is that low float of the crypto space. So Bitcoin will tend to dictate if it's moving to the upside. A lot of other cryptos will move to the upside. People feel comfortable putting money into it. Starting to see that Bitcoin is also affecting Coinbase here. We have a bit of a descending triangle from the high, from the open back here, and we've broken out. So looking for this to hold back above 236, 238. Close above 238, we could see potentially more volume coming into this and potential for this to start to move to the upside. But I'd really like to see it break up above 255 first. That would be that first resistance test, then potential pullback and secondary move to the upside. So Facebook was a bit extended yesterday, continuing move today, but is it going to break out the high from 375? I would look for this actually to pull back down and set up back down here around 365 area, just like we were seeing with the Qs. I think a lot of this strength, we could see that this pulls back. It does have earnings coming up this week, so keep that in mind. Estimated $3 gains on earnings. TAL Education Group, definitely big move to the downside. More prints on this as well. BABA likely down in relation to China. Ooh, that's getting brutal. I hope somebody traded BABA today. I was not trading BABA because I was busy teaching today in the training pit. So if you guys want to learn more about the dark pools, come on over to thedarkpools.com, to the training pit. We have 2 webinars a day in there, so you get a lot of great information and you get to learn all about the dark pools and how to trade them. TME, T-Cent Music, we've seen a lot of prints on some ETFs that had this as a major holding. And so today it has bounced a bit up here. You guys see this 161 EMA? Throw it on your charts. Put it on a 15-minute chart. It has been offering some resistance. NEO as well, moving to the downside today, but it had a bit of a similar movement. So a lot of the ones that really gapped down, retraced a bit. We tested the trend line and the moving averages. We have a super long leg doji day today. Are we going to close down weak and break down below the 40.70 mark? Then we're likely going to be heading down further. All right, let's look at cryptos over here. So when we look at the crypto space, right? We have Bitcoin. I would like to use US Tether because everything is digital, right? So when we look at it, you see that 161. Hey, look, we are testing it from below. Yeah, Louis, we will check those out. So we're testing that from below over here. Did we break this downward trend? We did, but the day is not done yet. TradingView has the close of the crypto day at 8 p.m. So are we going to retrace back down? I'll set a little alert for crossing down this trend line right here. Add alert on trend line and crossing down. Is this going to be the shorts getting squeezed to the upside? The short squeeze of Bitcoin based on Amazon saying, I'm going to use this for a form of payment. Well, it's not really efficient. It takes a lot of time to really move it to the upside. It really makes me weary because all of the brokers are now saying, let's open up crypto desks. You know, we've been around it for how many years? Over 7 years, but we haven't had a crypto desk. Let's open up our crypto desks. Knowing how much manipulation there is in the stock market, if all of a sudden they're making it accessible to everybody to enter into it, who's selling, right? Who is selling on the other side of that trade? If these really big guys had been making all this money, now potentially they're bouncing it before maybe a bigger crash. So let's also look on the weekly chart over here. Too many screens, I got myself confused. So looking to see, is this the 20 or 26 that I have on here? Let's do 26. So 26 tends to be pretty strong for crypto. I would need it to really close above 45,000 to really be comfortable there. Otherwise, I'm not really crazy. The volume has been descending. We had a bit of higher volume here. Yes, technically it broke out of this downward trend right here, but we need to close up above this 38,000 level right here. You see how that offered resistance? We had selling, 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 selling. Are we going to have selling and drop right back down? In fact, look, it's starting to come down. This is that low float of the crypto space. Only 18 million in the float for Bitcoin, which is part of the reason why it's so volatile, is because there's not that many coins. How many people are out there buying an entire coin at 39,000? It's really the big whales that hold it. When they start to sell, hey, that could be the time at which they are going to really crash this and crash it really hard. Also, there's a lot of the hash rate that does go through China. It's about to get wiped out with water. So that could make these transactions much slower as well. Just a lot of things. I've never been an owner of it, and so personally, I don't own it. All right, another major one that people are watching is Ethereum. This one did have a nice bounce as well, up off of the 1750 area. Downward trend has been broken as well. Nice technical move there. Broke out right here, 2120, and a big volume that came into it right over here on that 15-minute chart. So is this big volume buying or selling volume? Right now we are up above it. If we drop below 2260, I'd watch out that this is going to move down. Right, that was 2262.50. So we'll just make this, look at that, that's pretty cool. Right there. So now we have an alert set up. If it starts to break down further, I would be ready to see that move to the downside. In fact, let's set this up as a 4-hour chart over here. So you can see we are testing the former resistance right here as well. Is it going to break down? A lot of selling, it looks like, potentially came in right at that time. XLM. So let's check out the ones. These are the ones that I personally do like to the upside. Doge is having a nice inverted head and shoulders move to the upside. Oh, I'm about to sneeze. All right, back. So Dogecoin's having a nice move, or Doge, however you like to say it. I call it Doge. It's moving to the upside. Nice reversal pattern right here. I would like to see that it has a close above the open price here of 21.55. Thank you, Roger. So 21.55. In fact, let me just put a little line over here, right there. So I'm going to make that a lighter dashed line. So I know that that's where I want to see it hold. And look at how it actually tested that as support. Pretty cool, right? So let's see if this can continue up and break up above 25 cents. Thank you, Asif. And continue to move to the upside. I think once we get above 25 cents, we're going to see another move up here. This had a 1, 2, 3 move. So is this the beginning of 1 and then a bit of a 2 back down to 25, then a 3 up to 55 cents, 4, and then a bigger move back up to 75.80. Because we are starting higher here, we have a little bit more volume and it's starting to curl and squeeze those individuals that are potentially short. We'd like to really see it though close above, like I said, that 25 cent range. Cardano as well is another one likely going to be set up as part of that ISO 2022, and looking for this to move higher. In my opinion, we are hitting the 425 on the 4-hour chart. That does tend to be a bit of resistance. You can see in the past as well, it was really resistance. IOTA moving up as well. Look at that volume today in IOTA. Look at that big volume. This is a 335 simple moving average. I don't know, one day I just decided I'm going to try it and it works. So I've left it. So I like that 335 SMA here, and it's almost at that 50 simple moving average, but look at how it hit right there. 83.44. It went up to 86, so just a bit high. Really, 86 today? Interesting. No, 83.54. It's weird. Over here it says 86. Huh. Anyway, in any event, it came up and it hit that line and rejected it. It's so cool. So keep your eyes on IOTA. XRP, we are due to have word from Janet Yellen on crypto regulations coming up this week. So that could cause this to skyrocket. Hopefully there's going to be a resolution to the XRP lawsuit. We do have the Sunshine Act meeting coming up on, let's go here, Sunshine Act meetings coming up on Thursday. They like to schedule them for Thursday. However, it has been postponed. So is it going to be postponed again? It could. It's under upcoming events with the SEC. Closed meeting, Sunshine Act, 2 p.m. Nothing until then. But we also have Gary Gensler speaking with the UN at 10:30 on tomorrow. So that could be enlightening as well as far as global trade, considering that SEC, Gary Gensler is the head of the SEC, and they're going to be talking about climate change and global financial markets. So this could be really interesting. Maybe they're going to talk about new settlement rates as far as using blockchains for new settlements. Let's go to view event details, see if there's anything interesting. The event is free and open to the public at 10:30. Sure. Okay. I don't know if I have to do anything. I'll deal with that later. So XDC is another one set up. Been moving, found a higher low as of support. Right here was 0.68 cents. And that's setting up for a bit of higher lows right there. Let's move this over here. Move this right here. So it did have a nice breakout this day. Volume came into it and continuing to move up. XLM, huge. They are setting up to work with Visa. They're working with everybody. I really like XLM, and we had a nice reversal candlestick pattern right here, moving to the upside. Again, it's hitting that 335. I don't know why. It just works. Don't necessarily question it. If it works, go with it. So I like XLM as well. We have a bit of an inverted head and shoulders, wonky, but it could be moving to the grapefruit coin. You know what, Duke? There are so many coins. There's over 10,000 coins. In fact, let's go to coin market cap. There's over 10,000 coins and over 380 exchanges. So I honestly, now it's up to 11,000. I don't know every coin. but I could look at it and I could see for you, Duke. Is it just called grapefruit? Is it on CoinMarketCap? Have you read the white paper? Do you know what their, what is it? The lines of, what's it called? On Gecko. Yeah. No, I don't know anything about it. It's probably a token. Is it set up on, still no white paper? All right. I'm not really necessarily going to invest in anything that's just a SPAC in the crypto space. That would be a SPAC to me with actually like no information set up to it. But we do see that we have 11% flowing into the crypto space today, which does scare the banks. You guys check out that, go to my Twitter and check out this video that I did post, not there, profile right here, that I posted about the banks, because it's really going to make you see, hey, what is going on? Okay, so Roger, with a white paper, it's going to be like a mission statement for a business, but for crypto, they're going to say, this is what we're looking at to do with our business. So it's really like the mission statement of the cryptocurrency company and their use function and what they're going to be doing. So check out this video, Who Controls Our Money. It's pretty enlightening. I did do the banking webinar that is down in the description, and it's really cool because I learned so much and really helped to enlighten a lot of other people about it. And it's something that you want to know about this. The banks play with your money. There's no lying about that. 33 times they lend it out. Hello, Aaron. Welcome. And so when they start to see that more is going into the crypto space, that means less is going into savings in the bank, and that means less is there for them to play with, which they don't like. And all of the history about how the banking Ponzi scheme was set up to play with people's money and to pay you very little on what you put in, and then they make 33 times off of your money. It's disgusting, honestly, in my opinion. So just my personal opinion. But check it out and see and educate yourself on it. Bitcoin today, nice move. Yep. Oh, nice, Aaron. Very nice. All right. So let's head back over here and let's look at these stocks you guys mentioned. So let's look at Sens. All right. So Sens over here, let's make this a 45-minute chart. Let's change this back to a 20 simple moving average over here. So cool to see it move, right? And so on Sens, are you still here, Louis? I don't know if Louis is still here. So looking at this, it is, I would want to see that it closes back up above 308 to be long on this. Otherwise, I feel like the momentum has changed to the bearish side right there. And let's check out LCID. So LCID looks like it is a bit of a lower float. No, 206 million, but it did have a big spike up today. Actually, let's look at it on that dual time frame and see. Looks like it had a big move, got overextended, came back down to the moving averages, and it is holding up above. I'd like to see this close up above 27 for a continued move, but it's still really far extended away. So I wouldn't anticipate for it to come back down. If that move is really going to continue to the upside, see it test 25 and then bounce back up and break through 27 right there. Oh, thank you, Asif. Asif is on the like patrol. Asif is saying, please hit that like button if you like the live stream. Okay, support.com. So technology and services. This one looks like it has had a nice move to the upside. Nice job on this one, Char. Watching it for that breakout right here of $5, and then it tested the $6 level. You can see it screamed a little bit higher today. 17 million low float. It is holding a bit of support around here, around 644. If it breaks down below there, I would say bye-bye. I don't want to be caught on the way down on this one, because this could very easily come back down to 450 fairly quickly. But right now it looks to be in that bullish momentum with a bit of resistance around the 725 area. So I'd watch that 725 above there. Potential for this to continue up Otherwise, that resistance is pretty strong and would look for that to continue back down and then test the 640 level. If it breaks below 640, back down to that 450 area. All right, let's look at Abeo. Abeo, ooh, is going to be, yeah, lower float, I believe. Oh no, 86 million, but crazy volume spike. It looks like, I don't know, did they have news? Therapeutics, gene therapy, that was on the 26th, announces MRI data showing increased vein volume in patients with Sanfilippo. I don't know what this is. I would not be good on that, but I don't usually trade, but it looks, I don't usually trade pharmaceuticals as I don't know about them, but it looks like, hey, once it came in right here, it had volume that came into it, broke out up there, those shorts got caught, and then that's really acting as resistance again. So without this breaking up above 142 now, bye-bye, this is continuing back down to the downside. Yeah, they're on my website, Latchkeylex, at cjanetrade.com. Can you show how a pattern looks like? What do you mean, Asif? Patterns that you just start to see them, and the more time that you see them, that more that you will see it happen. Okay, and then SGRP. So SGRP, again, a breakout as well. Looks like the momentum has come back down. It looks like you can see the volume is dropping right here. We had a bit more volume as it broke out from this high. People bought on that breakout, and it was very short-lived up to 266, the resistance over here, and then it continued to move back down. So I'd watch this. Hey, if this breaks, does not hold 234 as support, again, this is moving back down and will likely fill that 70-cent gap back to the downside. All right. So I don't know, what do you mean a pattern? I don't have a pattern, but it's like you start to see the patterns in the stock market. I don't have a pattern necessarily. Thanks, Duke. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, you could definitely have things scream to the moon, but there has to be a reason why, right? There would have to be a short squeeze. Yeah, this one does look like the weekly chart on SGRP 15 minute, looks like a weekly chart on AMC. V pattern. V pattern? You want to see a V pattern? We go to the SPY on the weekly chart. Oh, right there. You've got V's right here. Very quick short squeeze. The people got squeezed. The bears were hungry to take this down. They got squeezed, and then it squeezed right back up. And then right here as well. Right? And if we bring up over here on the 24-hour chart, let's move this back to 220, right? So if we look at this and we look at what happened, right? If we look at this on the 24-hour chart, right? So we had a little bit of a wobble here, here, then new highs. Remember last year we were at all-time highs at 339. We were at all-time highs on the S&P 500. And then check the volume though, right? Check the volume right here so that you're looking at it. All right, well here we found a support level. Let's turn on the other moving averages. There you go. So we bounced off of the 50. Hey, look, we bounced off of the 50. Hey, look, we bounced off of the 50. Right here, we bounced. Here was our dividend day. Oh, let's look at something interesting. How far was it? How many days? Undo that. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to measure. Oh, goodness. Bear with me, guys. Let's go back to that date. All right. So I wanted to measure from here to here. How many days was that? 39 days. Just for fun. Okay, so 39 days would put us at the 12th of August. if we were looking at the same time frame from the dividend on over for a big crash. So that would be interesting if that was the day before the big crash of the market. You know, it's setting up, in my opinion, that there's going to be another big crash. We can't continue, the Fed cannot continue buying 120 billion every single month for eternity, right? What's that going to do to the US dollar? It's just going to decrease in value, inflate the price of everything, hyperinflation, could get really nasty and really ugly. Quad witching crash. Hey Marshall, I was thinking about you this weekend. Did you feel it? I was thinking about you. I hadn't heard from you guys before October. We will see. I think it will definitely be before October in my opinion, but we will see. This week could be these next couple of days could be quite telling, as with FOMC, with Janet Yellen, with Gary Gensler. A lot of things are lining up that it might be happening, but it could happen in October with the ISO 2022 adoption, central bank digital currencies. There's a lot of things moving everything's moving all at the same time. And so what is going to be that straw that breaks the camel's back, that it just sort of breaks free? NVIDIA got bad earnings forecasted. It might sell it a week before the earnings release. Aaron, there's a potential for that. With earnings, just monitor your levels and see where your risk management is going to take you, right? Spike of Bitcoin to nearly 48,000 on Binance yesterday. Yeah, well, that happens. There's those little micro flashes that can happen. Top 5 stocks, in your opinion, to invest when crash happens. You know what? Argami. I would be looking at metals, and I would also look at consumer goods, right? Think about it. What is everybody going to need? I would wait. I would go into cash and also into metals, not paper, gold or silver, but physical gold or silver, as the market could drop, but a commodity or something in your hand is always going to be good. And put money into real estate. Real estate is a limited commodity as well. So as far as stocks, we could see that the big techs, we have that major lawsuit coming, that they could really get pummeled. That's going to drop the Qs. It's going to be really hard to say. I would be more likely to sit by the wayside, wait for the discounting, and then buy the blood in the streets, as they say, as they move to the upside. Sophie, let's see. Yeah, Sophie unfortunately had a big day right here, but it was still in the downward trend. Let's look at this. Look at Enha. Look at this. Do you see? It's not really in a bullish move, right? It's more in a bearish move right at the moment. Maybe it's going to have support back here around $15, but the volume is still dropping. So it looks like it's moving to the downside right there. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up for today. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you have an amazing trading day. I do have a student at 2 o'clock that I will be training one-on-one. So I do need to wrap it up for today. Have an amazing day. Carpe Profit, seize those profits one trade at a time. Again, these are my social media handles. If you ever have any questions, please feel free to email me at jane@cjanetrade.com. Thank you.